has put within us all the ability to imagine that world. If you're just being honest, just take some time and utilize your imagination. Spend time, intimate time with God. It's like having spiritual intercourse with God and remembering that He gave you every good thing you've ever experienced, okay, in your entire life. And He's not responsible for anything bad. I mean, that's a good God. That's a giving, generous God. That's a loving God, and you want to pay homage to and respect and revere, have the fear of the Lord in your soul, and say, wow, you know what? I mean, I get it. I understand that I'm always going to be learning more about you. And you know what? I mean, that's what you want. And what do you want for humanity? What do you want for me? Okay, it's all very simple. It's all cut and dried. He wants us to have fun. What do your parents want? What do your earthly parents want for you? Just think about it. It's what's glaringly obvious, super simple, and extremely logical and intellectual. Okay, they want the best for you. They want you secure. They want you content and filled with joy. They want you at peace. They want you to feel free, right? They want you to enjoy the life they have granted you, right? So is it a stretch to say that's the nature of God? And that's where parents learn that trait, that agape love, that utterly unselfish, pure love that they pour out for you. I mean, this stuff, anybody can understand this stuff I'm talking about because you are God's child. Do you understand? And the only choice you're making, you can't make a choice about that. That's the way you're born, is to understand it and to amplify it and to let it grow in your heart through a personal one-on-one relationship. I mean, it can be done anytime, anywhere. Whenever you're awake, you can pray, you can meditate, you can talk to God. I'm not saying, talk out loud. I'm talking about in your heart and in your mind. You're having spiritual intercourse with the one that loves you in a way nobody else can understand completely. They can't hold a candle to it. We can know, love, and understand each other because we're all human. We can empathize. We get it. Yeah, it's tough, you know. And what I like to tell people is you got to separate the stuff. What's bugging us? That I think is the best theme today for this series of videos today, is to tell people, listen, ask people to ask themselves, what is bugging you? Then separate it with two categories, okay? Because there's something bugging everybody. No way. Something's bugging everybody, right? And this is the stuff that we got to take to God, okay? And to sort it out and help us deal with it, to cope and contend with it, and to rectify it in our heart and mind and have a certain semblance of peace about it. Like my kids, worrying about your kids. Well, I know God loves them with a jealous love, and that I don't want to even come near. I would never do that. I mean, I don't challenge the Almighty Creator God, the owner of my daughters. My wife and I did very little to create my daughters, but they're God's property. I can't save their lives, but He can. So who am I going to say defer to? I'm going to say I'm your dad. Yeah, I love you dearly. You know how much I love you. It's just a hint, though, of the love your real father has for you. So, don't glorify me. I did very little. I did what dogs, monkeys, and cats, and rats, and insects do. I made it. What came very naturally, instinctively. I did what's written as a commandment. Go forth, be fruitful, and multiply. Subdue the earth in a good way. But we want to spend time glorifying God and thanking God for everything good, and not blaming Him for anything bad. Okay, so categorize what's bugging you. Okay, you've got one category that's natural, that's organic, and those things can be identified and determined and deduced simply by noting whether those things are across the board, that they affect all human beings equally, that your chance may not happen equally, but they affect us all. We're all subject to those things. And then the other category, and a few of those things that I wrote down, a few of those things here, I might as well share. Okay, in the natural or organic categories is things like mosquitoes and other insects that can kill us, cancer and other diseases, natural disasters. It's too hot, it's too cold, thorns on roses. That's just a few of the natural things that are across the board. They affect everybody. Okay? It's just the way it is. It's just being part of being human. It's very precarious. It's touch and go. It's very dangerous. It's very insecure existence. We might be dead today. That's science. That's a fact. That's not morbid or negative. That's just the way it is, baby. And I don't like it any more than anybody else. But what do I do with it? Can I blame any human being? Do I want to get all pissy about all those things that bug me all the time? My health issues? Like so many people suffer. You get older. I tell young people, I joke with them, hey, whatever you do in life, don't get old. And they look at me puzzled usually, like, what you trying to say? I should kill myself or something? No. No, I don't believe in suicide at all. How do you know it's any better on the other side of that veil? That's enough reason not to do it. Okay? Wherever you go, there you are. You take yourself with you. And, we got to deal with our stuff, man. But now the invented, the artificial, the inorganic issues is what really gripe me, okay? And these are aspects of our reality that are not across the board. They do not affect people equally at all. They're very selective. They're very exclusive to others. They select certain people to pick on and discriminate against and be biased toward, okay? And they exempt others. So it's very much an advantage, disadvantage invention. And it all goes to money. It all comes back to money. This is the most powerful tool, okay? The sharpest arrow in their quiver. Okay, this is Satan's ambrosia, okay? This is how they've convinced people to be evil. We have an easy propensity to be worldly and to revel in ideas like being rich and famous, and that's the ultimate. That's Shangri-La or wherever you believe is some paradise. That's the Shangri-La. Is that they got a lot of different names for a paradise, right? But listen, God will help you sort it out. So you can actually physically write down a list, 2 categories, organic and inorganic. Now, the inorganic invented stuff that bugs me and that just maddens me, that's responsible for my profound frustration and these deep furrows in my brow, is not all the personal issues I've been through. I mean, we all go through crap. I mean, divorce and families break up. It happens to everybody. Everybody's family's got issues like that, and it sucks to no end. But again, what is it? I mean, what's causing that animosity, even within bloodlines? We got to go back to the origin of sin. Okay, we should not know what a sin is. We should not be able to comprehend it, but we can. It's simply defiance. It's saying we know right from wrong, but we're going to choose wrong. We're going to defy God. God said, do this. Here's my directive. Okay, you can eat from anything else in the Garden of Eden here, but just don't eat from this tree. It was like a test that we failed. Our ancestors failed miserably, and now it's in our DNA. We're stuck with it. So we're all tainted. We're all adulterated. We're all screwed up from the get-go. Okay? With this knowledge of good and evil, knowing the difference between being naked and not naked. We shouldn't we see what a departure that alone is. Wrap your mind around that. So I say think big, think outside the box. Think through God's eyes. Okay, see the way he sees. Okay, free will choice. Evil men get to choose to be evil. Okay, that's their choice. And when they do choose to be evil, they have a huge advantage over the righteous people. Why? Because they're willing to sell their soul for a loaf of bread, essentially. Okay? Sell their honor, their integrity, their reputation for a buck. They think those things are foolishness. They think that you're a fool to believe in God, that you're going to be accountable. It's all about just living for the now. That's it. That's it. I mean, they love their lives in this world so much, their position and place, their lot. They love money because money is an essential element, ingredient in those people that really, really love their lives and they're willing to do anything. You understand? By selling their conscience for a crumb, a temporary crumb, a flash in the pan in the scheme of eternity, in time, okay, they get to rule. But they've got to be willing to kill people, you murder people. You understand? This is what it comes down to. So when it comes to being overly invested in this established system, okay, I mean, we need to define terms like government. I was watching this FBI show, and it was about this nut. The guy was out of his freaking mind. He kidnapped some little boy hiding in a bunker. And to anybody else that saw it, they said, "Oh, this was an anti-government radical." And like, first, let us define government and let us discuss who is the authority in defining government. Because constitutionally speaking, the only true government, the only legitimate, valid government is we, all the people. I added the all because it's by default position. It's by, just, it means not we. If it was some of the people, it would have to say we, some of the people of the United States. No, it says we, the people. The is by default position all encompassing. The is all, right? It's all the people. We are the only legitimate government in America. And it's our duty to parent these people, to be their boss, to be their master, to be their employer, as the statistics show. I mean, that's what the math shows. We pay their taxes. Therefore, we pay their salaries. They're to be beholden to us, loyal to us. And is that what we're seeing? How long has it been since we saw that? The assassination of JFK was getting rid of the Federal Reserve. This is all a matter of record. In fact, I'm not a conspiracy theorist at all. I'm a nuts and bolts, down-to-earth, scientific, intellectual, mathematical kind of guy. That's what I'm into. That's why what I get into is really not philosophy. I mean, sure, I incorporate spiritualism in there because we got to understand that there is a God. I need to establish that with people. And if you can't say, is it possible, and just say, hey, what is the benefit of believing at least that it's possible there's a God? Okay? At least hold that out and say it's free insurance. Because at the end of the day, think it over. Mull it over. Ruminate over it. Ponder it. That if you don't have any faith, you haven't spent any of your time being grateful to God, glorifying God, counting your blessings every day so you don't have a bunch of missed blessings in your life. You got your values straight. This is the stuff He does for you. You want to miss out on that? And then you got nothing. You just got what you expected. You don't exist anymore. Let's say all the atheists are right. So it's a state of non-existence. So it was all in vain. It was all for naught. All those idiot believers out there. See, you wasted your time out there being a goody two-shoes. So what am I supposed to do? So what are you saying? The only thing that matters is following the laws of man, this bad religion, this establishmentarian religion, this essentially beast system. Jesus said the prince of this world is Satan he's alluding to, is still in charge. And all his minions by default, whether it's on purpose or it's inadvertently, they're unaware. They're just following their evil instinct to follow Lucifer and Satan unknowingly, unbeknownst to them. Some of them intentionally. We don't know who it is. It's like Jesus said, it's like the weeds and the cultivars have to grow together. Because any of these people could jump ship. All these evil men could come over to the side of light and decide, I don't want to go to that Dante's Inferno-like place, that ninth circles of hell type place. I want at least the chance. I'm jumping ship now. My values have changed. I'm willing. I want to live in a world without any form of money. And nobody there that wants to take advantage of me, have an advantage over me, oppress me, steal my freedom, steal my productivity, steal my security. Yeah, I want to be there. That's the promise. That's the paradise. That's what's going to happen when God's will is established on earth, and it will be. It's just a fact. It's a logical conclusion That's having this much faith that I have. This much. Because my faith is shakable as hell. You better believe it is. You better believe. And I've brought some of that on myself. I have to confess. I have to admit. You watch what you ask for because you're going to get it. Okay, you're going to get it. You ask for something good, you're going to